Chosen one, don't scroll past this. What you're about to hear is not ordinary. It's prophetic. This is a divine interruption, a holy alarm from the throne room of the Most High. Stay with me until the end, for what I'm about to reveal is no accident. It concerns your daughter. It concerns her future, and it has been pressed into your path by none other than Archangel Michael himself. Before we speak of danger, pause and breathe. Heaven is near, and this is holy ground. Open not only your ears, but your heart. Someone is plotting in silence. Hidden hands are at work, weaving snares around your daughter's destiny. They think they're unseen. They think you're unaware. But God sees all. And now you are being entrusted with this truth because only you carry the authority to stop what's coming. She is clothed with strength and dignity, says Proverbs 31-25. And she laughs without fear of the future. But not everyone rejoices in her light. Some envy it, some fear it. And those are the ones moving now, attempting to reshape her path into something not written by the hand of God. Do not be afraid. The Father's love goes before you. For he will command his angels concerning you to guard you in all your ways. Psalm 91-11. Look deeper. Have you noticed the unrest in her spirit? The way she holds back words she can't explain. That's not imagination. That's a spiritual disturbance. Heaven is warning you because the enemy is trying to rewrite a story that belongs to God alone. Before this night is over, you will notice a sign, a dream, a sudden phrase she speaks, or a timely knock. Heaven's confirmation that reversal has begun. But hear this. They will not succeed. Heaven has already stationed warriors by her side. Michael is watching. The Lord is speaking. And this message is your confirmation. You stand as her watchtower. You are not just a parent. You are a priest at the gate of her destiny. Now, as you step forward into this divine role, I invite you to declare your readiness. Type Amen in the comments below. As a bold act of agreement, as a signal to heaven that you are standing in the gap for your daughter. Whisper her name and bless it now. Your words draw a line the enemy cannot cross. And remain here until the end, because we will close with a powerful prayer of covering and victory. Stay, because what begins as warning will unfold as crowning. This turning point begins now. Chosen one, pause everything, because what you are about to hear will shift the atmosphere around you. This moment isn't coincidence. It's divine appointment. You didn't scroll to this message by accident. Heaven has orchestrated this encounter because something sacred, something immense is moving around your daughter's life, and you are being appointed, being summoned to see it, speak into it, and stand for it. They think they can tamper with her destiny. But they don't know who they're dealing with, because her name has already been marked in fire, etched into the eternal records of heaven by the hand of the Almighty Himself. They believe they can redirect her path through whispers, but heaven has already assigned angels to secure her steps. They believe she is vulnerable, but God has declared her covered. They think no one is watching. But He who neither slumbers nor sleeps. Psalm 121 verse 4 has seen it all. And now He has awakened you. You are not a bystander. You are not here to watch. You are the appointed watchman on the wall. The spiritual guardian chosen by heaven to rise in this exact hour. Don't scroll. Don't look away. Don't treat this lightly, because right here, right now, her future is being sealed in your awareness, in your voice, and in your obedience. And listen to this before this night is over. You will see a sign. It may come quietly, a dream, a sudden word she speaks, a peculiar moment that feels off yet unmistakably divine. That is your confirmation. That's heaven whispering. You heard me right. The plan has been exposed. The reversal has begun. Your daughter is covered. Now lean in, because this next part unlocks the mystery. There are conversations happening in secret. Decisions made in rooms her feet have never stepped into. They are trying to speak over her life without her presence. Trying to bend the direction of her destiny without her voice. But they forgot something. Archangel Michael is standing guard. Not passively, but as a flaming sword circling her, cutting through every false alignment. Still, heaven speaks to you, because this battle is not just fought by angels. It is won through your awareness, your words, and your faith. Chosen one, understand this. Your daughter has been carrying a weight, a tension in her spirit that even she cannot put into words. It's like something has been tugging at her soul, pulling her, distracting her, blurring the lines of her purpose. And maybe you've seen it. The sudden quiet in her tone, the shifts in her energy, the moments her eyes go distant. That is not nothing. That is not coincidence. That is not just life. That's the spiritual tension of a life under assignment and under attack. There is a plot to lead her away from the path heaven designed, to entangle her in a glittering promise that is all illusion, to steer her toward applause instead of anointing. But God is exposing it now through you. You are her first line of defense. You are being entrusted who was entrusted with insight when others are still asleep. Heaven didn't choose someone more powerful, more visible, more vocal. It chose you. Why? Because your heart is tuned to hers. Because your spirit is sensitive enough to recognize a counterfeit. Because heaven knows you will pray, you will watch, you will rise. And heaven is saying now, what you see, you can shift. This is more than revelation. This is realignment. Heaven declares, we gave you this daughter because she carries a rare seed of greatness. And chosen one, listen to this carefully. The seed of greatness will always attract opposition. Some will recognize the seed and honor it. Others will see it and try to suffocate it. Some will try to steal it, to shape it, to silence it. This is spiritual law. Just as Pharaoh ordered the death of Hebrew sons because of what they might become. Exodus 1. Just as Herod sought the Christ child to destroy him before his voice was heard. Matthew 2. So too will darkness attempt to silence what heaven has ordained. But it will not prevail, because you have stepped into the story. Even now imagine your daughter standing unknowingly at a crossroads. One path glitters. It looks full of life, but it is empty. The other path looks quiet, unassuming, but it is lined with angels drenched in purpose and protected by divine fire. They are baiting her toward the glittering path with empty promises. But your awareness, your spiritual clarity has just shifted the outcome because now you see it. And chosen one, your seeing is the beginning of her breakthrough. Even in this moment, a soft wind is moving. That is not your imagination. That is the Spirit, confirming that this message is real and this moment is holy. So what should you do now? Watch, pray, pay attention. Start looking closely at the small things. Her words, her pauses, the shifts in her rhythm, the weight in her silence. Heaven is subtle but never silent. Write what you see. Pray over it. Don't respond with fear. Respond with clarity. Awareness is your first act of war. You do not need to panic. You don't need to rush. You need to stand. Because God is not asking you to carry the outcome. He's asking you to carry the light. Do you remember Esther? She wasn't crowned queen just to wear beauty and robes. She was placed for such a time as this. Esther 4 verse 14. Her awareness of Mon's plan saved a nation. Your awareness right now could redirect a life. And don't underestimate the power of your voice. The word says you will also decree a thing and it will be established for you. Job 22 verse 28. You have the authority to speak peace into her mind. You have the authority to break agreements spoken against her in secret. You have the authority to cancel assignments that heaven did not authorize. This isn't just spiritual insight. It's spiritual warfare. And you were not just called, you were equipped. Chosen one. This is why you're here. This is why this message found you. Because the battle may be silent, but the call is loud. And God in His mercy didn't wait for the damage. He sent you a warning before the blow. He sent revelation before the confusion. He sent clarity before chaos. And now the enemy's grip is breaking. Right now, in this very moment, the net they've been weaving is unraveling. Because light has entered the hidden place. And where the light shines, darkness must flee. This is the reversal. This is the heavenly reordering. Not because the enemy gave up, but because you woke up. Stay alert. Stay present. Don't miss what the Spirit is whispering. Because while they're still trying to plot in shadows, you are now standing in revelation. And revelation always wins. Chosen one, pause right here because what you're about to hear carries the weight of heaven itself. You did not arrive at this moment by chance. The Spirit of God has drawn you to this word because a divine unveiling is taking place. Things that were once hidden in the shadows are being exposed under the light of the Almighty. This is your moment to see, to stand, and to speak life over what belongs to you. Your daughter's destiny is being secured even now. And you, yes, you are heaven's instrument in this hour. After you finish hearing this message, there will be small details that start to stand out. Little things. A name that suddenly repeats. A phone call that feels oddly timed. A phrase, she says, that stirs something deep in your spirit. These are not coincidences. They are divine markers. These are heaven's signals confirming that you are walking in revelation. The Lord is awakening your discernment, sharpening your spirit to recognize His movements. For as Proverbs 20 verse 12 declares, ears that hear and eyes that see, the Lord has made them both. And today, He is opening both within you. So don't skip. Don't rush away from this. Because in the unseen world, heaven's warrior is already moving. The veil over your eyes is being lifted. Light is being marked along your daughter's path, step by step. But the angels can only move in alignment with your awareness. Heaven needs your heart awake and your voice steady. That's why this word found you, because your prayer, your faith, your recognition are the catalysts for breakthrough. Everything that has been planned against her is being dismantled the moment you step fully into your God-given authority. Hear this whisper from heaven. Everything they have plotted will turn to nothing when you rise. Your presence carries weight in the spiritual realm. Your words carry power. The moment you speak light, darkness loses its grip. Your very breath, when filled with faith, scatters the enemy's plans like dust in the wind. For no weapon formed against you shall prosper. Isaiah 54-17. This is not theory. It's reality unfolding as you listen. Don't look away now, because this is where the veil begins to tear open. This is where the secrets the enemy tried to hide are laid bare. And this is where the truth of your daughter's protection shines like the noonday sun. For months, unseen hands have been weaving threads around her life. Threads of manipulation dressed as affection. Threads of deception disguised as opportunity. Smiles that hide motives. Invitations that sound harmless but carry hidden hooks. They have been crafting a golden illusion, a door painted to look like destiny but hollow behind its shine. They think you will never notice. They think you will scroll past distracted. But heaven has shattered their disguise and sent this message as divine evidence that their time is up. Chosen one, your daughter has been standing between two streams. One stream flows with peace, growth, and favor. The stream written by the hand of God. The other sparkles with imitation, familiar, enticing, but empty. It looks like promise. Yet it carries no life. That's the counterfeit path they've been guiding her toward. But the moment you opened this message, that path began to collapse. The trap they set has begun to unravel. Heaven moved the instant your spirit tuned in. Even now, the guardian of divine order is shifting the atmosphere around her. You might not see it yet, but something is stirring in the unseen. Every prayer you whisper, every declaration you speak, every moment you choose awareness over fear, you are constructing a fortress around her. Your awareness is the doorway for her rescue. And this is why at times she said she feels safe without knowing why. That sense of peace is not random. That calm is not coincidence. That's the brush of angel wings. Michael's presence tracing the air around her. He is reinforcing what your prayers have built. The Spirit is saying to you right now, keep your eyes open. You are witnessing the invisible becoming visible. Don't skip. Stay until the end. Because what's happening next is holy. In this very moment, 3 angels stand stationed at the threshold of her journey. They have been waiting, waiting for your recognition, waiting for your voice to align. The moment you began to listen, something shifted. The moment you believed, something broke. You may not feel it yet, but soon you will. It might come as a deep peace settling suddenly upon your home. It might be a dream that feels more real than waking life. It might be a phrase from your daughter that pierces your heart like prophecy. That is the sign, the confirmation that heaven is guiding her back to the rightful path. The enemy's intent was to silence her voice. But now her voice will rise higher. They wanted to drain her joy, but her joy will overflow like a river. They wanted to steal her future, but her future is being restored as you receive this word. For what they built in deceit, God is rebuilding in light. What they planned for harm, heaven has turned for good. You meant evil against me, but God meant it for good, Joseph said in Genesis 50-20. And so it shall be for her. Do not underestimate this moment. The very act of your listening, your believing, your awareness has already triggered divine reversal. The gears of heaven began to turn the instant your eyes met these words. And by the time you finish hearing this, the reversal will be complete. What was meant to bring confusion will now bring clarity. What was sent to scatter her will gather her back into peace. What was designed to pull her away from purpose will propel her deeper into it. And as this unfolds, heaven instructs you. Begin to bless your home daily. Each morning when you rise, speak light over your space. Say aloud, my home is covered by divine fire. No darkness may enter. Every night before you sleep, thank God for the angels already moving on your family's behalf. Because they are unceasingly, silently, powerfully working for you. You are not alone in this battle. You are surrounded by strength. Let the rhythm of your faith set the rhythm of your household. Let your prayers become the language of your atmosphere. Because what you speak repeatedly in faith becomes what heaven establishes permanently in truth. This is the secret they never wanted you to know. Your awareness is her armor. Every time you open your eyes to the signs, the darkness loses ground. Every time you choose prayer over panic, light expands its territory. Every time you affirm who she truly is, beloved, chosen, covered, you reinforce the walls of her protection. And listen. Heaven is not finished yet. Because this story is not about fear. It's about victory. This revelation is not meant to worry you. It's meant to wake you. You are being positioned as the intercessor, the bridge between danger and destiny. And heaven delights in revealing secrets to those who carry his heart. As Amos 3 verse 7 declares, surely the sovereign Lord does nothing without revealing his plan to his servants, the prophets. And in this moment, you are walking in that prophetic insight. So keep your eyes open, keep your heart soft. When you feel a sudden peace settle, know heaven is speaking. When you sense a strange stirring, know angels are moving. When your daughter smiles unexpectedly after days of heaviness, know the tide has turned. This is not coincidence. This is covenant. And you chosen one are living proof that heaven still intervenes. The message is simple yet profound. What the enemy planned has already been reversed. The reversal began the moment you listened. It will complete by the time your faith settles into certainty. So hold fast, stand strong, continue to speak light, and remember the one who began this good work is faithful to finish it. For even now, as the dawn prepares to break, heaven whispers over your home. Peace, be still. The storm has passed. The light has come. And so it is. Lean in. This is the part where heaven begins handing you the keys. Not just keys to understanding, but keys to protection, to intercession, to breakthrough. These are the spiritual tools that will empower you to see clearly, speak boldly, and stand unshaken as you guard the future heaven has written for your daughter. From the moment you opened part 1, a shift began. A stream of light, quiet but powerful, wrapped itself around your daughter like a covering. Every word you've absorbed has worked like a blade in the spirit, cutting the cords of confusion, unraveling the net that was being woven around her without your knowledge. But now heaven is lifting the veil so you can see with full clarity. The pattern is being revealed. Not so you'll fear it, but so you'll never be deceived by it again. Listen carefully. A moment is coming and it will seem small, subtle, almost ordinary. A comment, a sound, a dream. Perhaps your daughter will say a name she's never mentioned before. Perhaps you'll hear a knock that feels strangely timed. Perhaps something will come in the form of a memory or a moment that pierces you unexpectedly. That will not be random. That will be heaven's whisper, saying, the shift has begun. The ones who plan to lead her away are losing their grip. Their whispers are turning into static. Their meetings are unraveling. The door they intended to walk her through, the one they dressed in false gold, is slamming shut in their faces. And in its place, the Spirit is opening a new door. One of clarity, of joy, of divine protection. And you are being positioned to stand beside her at that threshold as the witness of this divine correction. You are forming a circle of light around her, with your awareness. Every word you've held in faith is a barrier. Every tear you've cried in prayer is a shield. Every whisper of hope has strengthened the hedge of protection around her. And now the angels assigned to her warriors cloaked in glory are stationed at the points of that circle surrounding her in every direction. This is why she will soon begin to feel different, lighter, clearer, more like herself. This is not a mood swing. This is not coincidence. This is the weightlifting. This is what happens when heaven partners with a parent's awareness. When the eyes of a guardian are opened, the grip of the enemy is broken. And now hear this secret from the courts of heaven. They cannot bring her because she has already been carried. Carried by the prayers you've whispered in the dark. Carried by the nights you wept and heaven caught every tear. Carried by the hands of angels who have never left her side. Not since the moment she took her first breath. This is the mystery the enemy never understood. They thought they were targeting someone isolated. What they didn't know was that she's wrapped in covenant. And you chosen one. You are living at the edge of something sacred. What was once hidden is now becoming visible. Pay close attention. The shadows are exposing themselves. Conversations are slipping out. Faces are revealing motives before words are spoken. The things done in darkness are now stepping into the light. And not by accident, but by divine command. This is your proof that heaven is moving. Picture this. Your daughter, once surrounded by noise, now begins to feel the hush of peace settle over her. Where confusion clouded her mind, now clarity begins to dawn. The conversations that once swayed her heart begin to lose their charm. The doors that would have trapped her shut quietly without explanation. This is not luck. This is the reversal in motion. And as this unfolds, you'll notice signs, gentle, precise, undeniable, a shift in her language. A dream she doesn't forget. A message that arrives with eerie timing. Don't fear these moments. These are heaven's waypoints confirming that she is being gently but deliberately guided back into divine alignment. The angelic protector moves with purpose, overseeing her every step. He is shielding her steps. Your role is to stay steady. Keep your heart grounded. Keep your eyes open. This is spiritual warfare, but you're not fighting alone. Those who once planned to lead her into a snare will soon be baffled. They won't understand why their words no longer land, why her interest fades, why her presence is no longer available to them. They will meet resistance they cannot name, an invisible wall they cannot climb. And you don't owe them an explanation. Their confusion is not your burden. It's heaven's justice. And now receive this holy promise wrapped within this part of the message. Every attempt to pull her away will become a testimony. What was meant to bend her will instead strengthen her spine. What was meant to dim her will ignite her light. What was meant to break her will become the platform for her voice. What the enemy built as a snare, God is transforming into a stage for her glory. Many are the plans in a person's heart, but it is the Lord's purpose that prevails. Proverbs 19 verse 21. Her story is not in their hands. It never was. The author and finisher of her faith is still writing. This is the turning you've been waiting for. And even now, heaven prepares to show you how to speak. So that this reversal isn't temporary, but permanent. Because when you speak life into alignment with heaven, the darkness can't return. It loses jurisdiction. So in your daily walk, begin to teach her to trust what's inside her. Help her make space for her spirit. Encourage her to write her dreams, to track the moments peace arrives, or when unrest lingers. These are not mood shifts. These are not teenage emotions. These are divine signals. Teach her to listen when something feels off. To lean in when peace rests, to notice the quiet convictions that speak louder than any voice. Let discernment become her language. Because when a daughter learns to recognize the Holy Spirit for herself, the enemy loses his foothold forever. And when she learns to follow the whisper of God rather than the noise of this world, her path straightens, her purpose sharpens, and her spirit soars. So don't step away. Don't scroll. Don't brush this off as just another message. You're standing on the holy ground of real-time transformation. A testimony is being written and it bears your fingerprints. This is the moment. This is the turn. This is the clarity. And what's ahead? It's more than restoration. It's resurrection. The future that felt fragile is about to rise with new fire. The plan meant to harm is now the blueprint for victory. And even now, right now, as you breathe in this word, the sunrise begins. Stay awake. Stay aware. Stay in it. You're not just hearing a message, you're living a miracle, beloved. The air around you has shifted. It may not be visible to the natural eye, but in the realm of the spirit, the atmosphere is glowing, charged with revelation. You're not just reading a message. You are stepping into instruction. This is not information for your mind alone. It is blueprint for your spirit. A divine strategy has been placed in your hands, not to inform, but to seal what heaven has already begun in your daughter's life. So don't rush this. Don't skim it. This is the part where purpose meets power. Everything up until now has been preparation. Heaven opened your eyes. Now it puts fire in your voice. You're no longer standing as a concerned parent. You are standing as a spiritual architect. Your words, your awareness, your very presence carry the authority to shape atmosphere. And this is what heaven is commanding now. Speak like one who has been given dominion. Declare her identity like you're drawing a line the enemy cannot cross. Let that settle deep in your soul. Your voice has become a boundary. Every time you speak light over her, you're building a fortress she doesn't even realize she's standing inside. And here's what many miss. The enemy doesn't always come through threats. Sometimes he comes through confusion, imitation, distraction. But you, chosen one, have been entrusted to cut through the fog, not with logic, but with truth. Heaven says, when she speaks in confusion, don't echo the fog. Answer with clarity. Speak calm into the storm she can't name. That kind of presence breaks spiritual static. Even now, as you hear these words, clarity is beginning to rise in you like a dawn. Names, faces, conversations, patterns. You're beginning to see what once felt blurry. That's not just memory. It's discernment. That is the Spirit of God illuminating the battlefield so you can move with intention. You are no longer reactive. You are prophetic. And standing beside you, though your eyes may not yet perceive him, is angelic guardian, holding a scroll inscribed with your daughter's destiny. This scroll doesn't burn with earthly ink, but with heavenly fire. And every time you choose to believe, to speak life, to rebuke lies, that scroll blazes brighter. This is the assignment from heaven. Hold her name with reverence. Speak it aloud. Bless it even when she's not near. Because every time you do, you release light. You forge armor. You frame a world around her where heaven's will prevails and hell's plans are undone. And stay watchful. A sign is coming. It will not announce itself with thunder. But it will be unmistakable. It may be a phrase she repeats, a look in her eyes, a small item she places in your hand. And in that moment, your spirit will know this is it. The veil is lifting. The Spirit is confirming. The turning has begun. Understand this. You were never just raising a child. You were entrusted with a calling. You were chosen because God knew you would be awake when the moment came. And beloved, that moment is now. You reading this is not proof of chance. It is proof of calling. And here is the holy mystery. Every plan crafted in the dark is being flipped into a platform. The very words they tried to use to twist her identity will now elevate her truth. The places they tried to pull her into will become the places she preaches freedom from. What was meant to silence will become a sound that awakens others. This is not just reversal. It is resurrection. And don't look away now because the story is shifting again. Until now, heaven has been exposing what was hidden. But now it's time to reveal what comes after the storm. The winds have quieted, the clouds have thinned, and now the ground begins to carry the scent of new beginnings. This is not just protection, it is preparation. The same angels who stood guard are now leading her forward. Watch closely. In the days to come, her path will begin to bloom with divine appointments. She'll meet people she never could have found on her own. She'll hear words that feel strangely familiar because her spirit has waited for them. She'll be invited into spaces that once seemed impossible. And that is heaven saying, the ending they wrote was never mine. I am the author and I've only just begun. Suddenly, you'll notice her talking differently. Dreams, visions, insights, ideas that carry weight and wonder. Don't dismiss them. Don't minimize them. These are not distractions. These are signs. Evidence that not only has she been saved from the snare, but she's being positioned for purpose. And here is something to remember. You beloved have been a bridge all along. Every prayer, every moment you felt something was off but didn't have words. Every time you chose not to panic but to intercede. You were building a passageway and now she is walking across it. Heaven says what you built in faith is becoming her foundation. You are not merely a parent watching from the side. You are a gatekeeper standing in the flow of divine movement. And now the gate is swinging open not just for safety but for ascension. This is when her story shifts from surviving to soaring. You must understand heaven is not interested in just keeping her from harm. The Spirit is crowning her with glory. The fire you helped protect is becoming a torch she will carry. Let this burn in your heart. It's not just about what she escaped. It's about what she's stepping into. And in the quiet moments of your walk. When the day is still, when your spirit is listening, begin to guide her into discernment. Encourage her to track the moments when peace enters unannounced. Ask her to write her dreams not because they're fanciful, but because they're formational. Show her how to sense the Spirit, not just follow trends. Because discernment is not rare for her. It's her native tongue. She doesn't need to be taught how to hear. She needs to be taught to trust what she hears. And when that happens, when she starts to live from the inside out, the enemy won't just lose access. He'll lose influence, because she will no longer need outside validation. She will walk in identity. She will speak with authority. She will move with divine momentum. And beloved, that is the victory you were made for. That is the role heaven wrote for you long before you saw the battle. Not to be afraid, not to be overwhelmed, but to be awakened. So stay here in this moment. Because what began as warfare is becoming a witness. What started as intercession is turning into inheritance. And what the enemy once hoped to bury has become the very thing God will raise up to shake nations. You are not on the outside of this miracle. You're in the middle of it. And the fire that once threatened to consume has now become the flame that commissions. The reversal is not coming. It's here. And you are living proof. Lean in. Still your mind. Still your heart. Because what heaven is about to release into your spirit is not just revelation. It is redemption in motion. This isn't simply a message. This is a turning point, a holy interruption. And if you listen closely, you'll hear it not just in the words, but in the shift happening around you right now. Stay. Because what is about to be spoken carries the power to flip the script over your daughter's life, your household, and your legacy. What once whispered against her, those voices of limitation, lies, and manipulation, will soon become the very stage from which her testimony will echo. What was meant to diminish her will amplify her. The closed doors she once faced will swing open, not by effort, but by the favor that now surrounds her. And the tears you've cried, they will become markers, signposts of divine movement guiding her path. But here's the miracle, the sacred beauty of it all. She won't even know how close she came to being pulled into something false. She won't feel the weight of the war you helped win. She'll simply walk forward and say, I don't know why, but everything suddenly feels lighter, clearer, brighter. And the reason will be this. You stayed awake, you listened. You prayed. You believed. You opened your spirit when heaven came knocking. You shifted her destiny not by force, but by faith. You didn't need to touch her physically. You touched something deeper. You touched heaven and heaven touched her. Don't skip this next part because now the light that surrounds her is beginning to radiate outward. What was once isolated to one life is becoming a wave of transformation. It will begin to touch your family, your household, even strangers connected to her by the thinnest of threads. This is not just a rescue. This is a ripple, and heaven wants you to understand something crucial. When I rescue one, I bless many. Just as the healing of the woman with the issue of blood, Mark 5 caused a crowd to pause and witness the power of Christ, so too will your daughter's deliverance serve as a divine pause in your lineage. Something generational is shifting right now. As her path clears, the very air around your home will change. What once felt heavy will feel light. The tension you couldn't name, the quiet weight in the atmosphere will begin to dissolve. Because the same angels that were assigned to her are now stretching their wings over your entire household. Stay with me, beloved. Don't look away now. Even people who have never spoken about her journey will begin to notice. They may say she looks brighter, that there's something new in her energy. They may say she just seems free. And you'll know this is the confirmation. Heaven's touch is visible, tangible, unmistakable. The reversal is in motion and it's contagious. But this isn't just about freedom. It's about cleansing. What was done in secret is being dismantled in the open. Patterns that once sat like shadows in your family line, unspoken, unaddressed, are now coming into the light. Not to bring chaos, but to bring cleansing. Heaven's warrior has not only drawn his sword over her, but over the bloodline she comes from. That's why conversations are opening up, ones that were buried for years. That's why, suddenly clarity comes where confusion reigned. This is heaven healing backwards and forwards at the same time. This is legacy being rewritten. And now I need you to catch this truth. Your daughter's rising is the doorway for others to rise, too. Her clarity will spark courage in others. Her freedom will break chains they didn't even know they were wearing. Her light is not just for her. It's a lighthouse for many. And you, chosen one, are not standing on the sidelines. You're at the very center of this unfolding. You are the witness to the miracle. And not just any miracle, but one that multiplies. What the enemy meant for evil, God is turning for good. Not just for survival, but for multiplication. Genesis 50-20. What the enemy tried to steal has now become seed. What was meant to bring sorrow has become the seedbed of joy. Where there was silence, there is now song. Where there was tension, there is now peace. And where there was a target, there is now a testimony. And here's your holy assignment. When you begin to see harmony return, don't hide it. Speak gratitude aloud. Tell of God's goodness. Not only online or in public, but at the dinner table. Let Thanksgiving become the language of your household. Because gratitude turns miracles into momentum. It keeps the river flowing. It sustains the work heaven has begun. Now lean in closer. This next layer is the crown. The moment where heaven doesn't just protect or promote your daughter, it crowns her. Yes, beloved, this is the moment where she doesn't just walk free, she walks favored. She doesn't just survive what was set against her. She thrives in the place the enemy never wanted her to reach. Remember Esther, she wasn't just saved from destruction. She was elevated into a position of influence and crowned for such a time as this. Your daughter is walking into a similar moment. Everything has been building to this. The revelation opened your eyes. The reversal broke the enemy's grip. The ripple began blessing those around her. But now comes the crowning. This is the unveiling of divine opportunity. Doors that no human hand could have opened. Encounters that cannot be explained by coincidence. Resources that flow to her not through hustle but through heaven's hand. And you, faithful one, you will watch this unfold. You'll remember the weight you carried in secret. The nights you prayed without words. The moments you sensed something but didn't know what it meant. You'll realize that every unseen act of faith was not wasted. It was weaving her crown. Let this be etched into your soul. Heaven is not finished with her story. It's only just beginning. What felt like the end was only the first act. The protection was the setup. The lifting was the transition. But the crowning, that's the fulfillment. And it begins now. She will not just walk out of what was meant to destroy her. She will walk into what was always meant to define her: purpose, favor, and spiritual legacy. And the most glorious part, she won't walk in pride. She'll walk in peace. She won't rise with fear. She'll rise with grace, because she'll carry the fragrance of someone who's been touched by heaven without even knowing how much was done to protect her. And you, beloved, you'll know. You'll know how close it was. You'll know how fierce the battle. You'll know how faithful God has been. And you'll stand in awe not of her alone, but of the God who wrote her story and trusted you to help carry it forward. So stay present, stay grounded, stay expectant, because what's ahead is not just light, it's legacy, and it's already begun. Chosen one, as we arrive at the edge of this divine unveiling, take one more breath, one more pause, because this is not the end. It is the beginning of legacy. What you've received is not just a word. It is a commissioning. Heaven did not merely open your eyes to see the danger. Heaven equipped your voice to speak protection, your presence to shift the atmosphere, and your obedience to write a new chapter in your daughter's life. The enemy sought to rewrite her story with confusion, manipulation, and false paths. But God, rich in mercy, and mighty in power, interrupted the plot with your awareness, your faith, and your unwavering love. And in doing so, He didn't just protect her, He elevated her. Her silence has turned to song. Her hidden gifts are being pulled into the light. Doors once shut tight are flinging open. Not by accident, but by divine authority. What was meant to trap her has become the very ground on which she will rise. And as she walks forward, crowned in light, you will witness the undeniable exchange. Rejection transformed into recognition, delay turned into divine alignment, and isolation rewritten as influence. But this is not just her miracle. This is your moment, too. Her crowning is also your confirmation. Because you stood, because you listened, the Spirit is now multiplying the blessing. You will see it in the harmony returning to your household, in the new peace that settles where there was once tension, and in the quiet favor that starts flowing into your own life. So what now? How do you walk this word into your daily rhythm? Begin each week with intentional words of destiny. Speak aloud one declaration over your daughter's future and one over your own. At midweek, take a moment to pause and reflect on any shifts you've sensed in her spirit. Journal them. Don't dismiss them. During meals, bless your family out loud. Speak favor over their minds, protection over their steps, and alignment over their choices. Before sleep, anoint your doorframes with prayer, declaring, "This house is a threshold for miracles." And once a week, set aside time to dream with God. Ask Him not only for protection, but for vision. Invite Him to show you glimpses of where she's going and where He's calling you to go with her. Because make no mistake, you are not just watching her rise. You are rising with her. You are part of the inheritance. The miracle is shared. The testimony is multiplied, and the glory belongs to the one who wrote it all before either of you took your first breath. Before we close, take a deep breath. Let your spirit come to stillness. What you are about to enter is not a routine prayer. It is a spiritual transaction. A moment where heaven bends low and divine power flows through your agreement. This prayer is your shield, your declaration, your alignment with the will of the Most High for your daughter, your family, and your legacy. Father in heaven, Creator of all light and life, we come before you now with hearts wide open and spirits ready. You are the God who sees the unseen, who knows the plans of the wicked before they speak, and who rescues those you love with mighty hands. We stand on holy ground in your presence beneath the weight of this sacred assignment. And in this moment, we declare that no weapon formed against our daughters shall prosper. Lord, you said in Isaiah 49:25, I will contend with those who contend with you, and your children I will save. We hold you to that promise. Now we bring our daughters before you. Not just their names, but their future, their path, their minds, their hearts. Every hidden trap, every whispered manipulation, every false light disguised as opportunity, we expose it now under the blazing authority of your name. Let your light scatter the darkness. Let your truth dismantle every lie. Archangel Michael, mighty guardian of heaven, surround her with the fire of divine protection, not just in battle, but in divine defense. May your flaming presence sever every spiritual tie knot, sent by heaven. Let the path ahead be cleansed by fire, marked by favor, and guarded by angels. Holy Spirit, hover over her life like you hovered over the deep before creation. Where there is confusion, speak clarity. Where there is fear, release peace. Where there is silence, breathe inspiration. Let her spirit awaken to your whisper. Let her dreams be baptized in purpose. Let her identity be rooted in what you've spoken, not in what others have tried to impose. Father, I thank you for the holy shift, for taking every plan that was meant for her harm and turning it into a testimony. You are the same God who parted seas for Moses, who shut the mouths of lions for Daniel, who raised the dead through your Son. And today you are the same miracle-working, enemy-crushing, destiny-reviving God. We declare now our daughters will not be led astray. They will not fall for counterfeit paths. They will walk in discernment. They will recognize peace and follow it. They will reject confusion and confront it. They will carry light not because of who they are alone, but because of whose they are. God, let our homes become thresholds of glory. Let every doorway be an altar. Let our prayers become pillars. Let our words form walls of fire. Let every time we bless her name be another layer of protection. May our homes echo with declarations of truth, of grace, of wisdom, of destiny. Let the ripple begin as our daughters rise. Let healing flow into every room. Let relationships be restored. Let old tensions lift. Let generational weights break. May the same angels that guard them extend their wings across our households, releasing peace, joy, and favor. Father, we thank you not only for rescue, but for crowning, for lifting her into places of influence, divine opportunity, and holy alignment. And when she walks forward in confidence and light, unaware of the battle that was fought in secret, let her carry the fragrance of grace. You have entrusted us as stewards of destiny. We accept the call. We answer it with faith. And we decree that from this moment forward, nothing hidden will remain in darkness, nothing crooked will remain unchallenged, and nothing stolen will go unrestored. We bless her mind. We bless her soul. We bless her hands. We bless her voice. We declare she is covered, carried, called, and crowned. In the name above every name, Jesus Christ our Lord. Amen. Beloved, if this word stirred something in your spirit, don't keep it to yourself. Let it breathe. Let it grow. Share in the comments what part spoke to you the most, because your voice may be the confirmation someone else has been praying for. If you felt heaven moving in this message, make sure to subscribe and turn on the notifications, because what's coming next will build on this very moment. This is not the end, it's the threshold. A new chapter is unfolding, and you're meant to walk it out fully equipped and deeply encouraged. Thank you for spending these sacred minutes with me. Thank you for being open. Thank you for listening with your heart. You're not just part of a message, you're part of a movement. Until next time, stay discerning, stay grounded, and above all, stay awake. Heaven is still speaking, and your story isn't finished.